Good morning, kings and queens. This is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me. I want to start off by saying the song Spanish Harlem came in my head again this morning, and I just want to share the lyrics with you. He's going to pick that rose and watch her as she grows in his garden. You know, Aretha was a queen, of course. You know, she's a legend. And she also was a godly woman. She was a godly woman, grew up in church. And those lyrics right there are very special to me. They mean something to me. And God has chosen us all. He has picked us all to grow in his garden, and he's watching over us and has appointed ancestors to watch over us and protect us as we continue to grow. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom, people. Okay, I had heard an article, or read an article rather, where they're beginning to something about release some records about Dr. King and his character. And of course, we knew this was coming. And assassination of character. That always happens. It happens a lot of times. Assassination of character. We do that as well. Assassination of character, because when we on the telephone, I'm gonna get back to Dr. King in a minute. When we on the telephone, instead of keeping the conversation about us, who we talk, the people who are on the phone, we'll begin to ask about other folks. And when we begin to ask about other folks, then we begin to talk about them and talk about their character. And there we go with assassination of character. And we need to be careful, because it is true that the tongue speaks life and death over people, including, ourselves, our children, our jobs. We got to be careful how we speak. Because you can sit there and say, I hate this job, and I wish I wasn't working here. And next thing you know, you ain't there, and there you go. So we got to be careful about our tongue, people. Assassination of character. Okay. Now, I will tell you this. Dr. King, was a man. Dr. King, it's a time when we are born. We're in this world, and we grow up, and we go about doing us. We do, until we find God. There is nothing. See, I don't care what somebody tell me about you, because that's your past. Matter of fact, I can thank your past, because your past is what helped created who you are today. Now, I know one thing. Dr. King has 4 beautiful children. Dr. King left a legend. Dr. King had a beautiful wife. Dr. King had a beautiful family. Dr. King was courageous. Dr. King stood up to the face of hate for the sake of us, so it could be better for us. So there is nothing. I don't care what they dig up about Dr. King, and I don't want you to care about what they dig up about Dr. King, because look here, they are not going to assassinate his character. They have assassinated him, but they are not going to assassinate his character, and neither are we. We are no longer going to assassinate one another's character. We are going to begin to We're going to begin to lift one another up, see there, because look here, if it weren't for Dr. King, we wouldn't even have civil rights to this day. He was the one who went to the forefront, in the marches, in the speeches. He didn't have no bulletproof vest. He didn't stand behind no shield like Trump do in front of his own supporters. You gonna stand in front of a shield in front of these your people who you invited up here, but you got to stand in front of a bulletproof shield. So there is nothing that no one can tell me about you, about Dr. King, and about none of my people. See, because your past is what helped create who you are today. So don't be upset about what happened yesterday. Don't be upset about what happened last night. Know that today you are transformed by renewing of your mind, and you are in this world, but you are not of this world. You are a legend, one of God's own, created in his image. Now I want to this dear soul, I want to, ask me one day. She said, I love when she listened and everything, and she told me how she loved and everything. She said, I wouldn't mind writing some scripts for you. And I said, I can't go by scripts. I said, I thank you though. I don't go by scripts. Have to go with the spirit. I have to just go as the spirit. As the spirit move me, people. I thank God that you are with me. I truly do. I thank God that you found this podcast. This podcast is 3 months old. And glory be to God. We are growing. We have now gained Mexico. And I'm very grateful for that. And I'm grateful that people are beginning to know that they can rise from this oppression, and come out with substance. Begin to change the way we think, Stop buying all them scratch-offs. $25, $30 worth of scratch-offs. That could be $25, $30 you could be saving towards an emergency, or putting away for savings, or just money that you can just have, just in case. You never know. Kids might need shoes. You might need shoes. Any kind of emergency can come up. You wish you had that scratch off money. Because I'm going to tell you something. These states are trying to recoup. The casino is trying to recoup. They revamping the machines. And so, the machines ain't getting ready to be paying out a whole lot of money, no time soon. It's very, very tragic that the coronavirus happened. It's very tragic. A lot of bad things happened. A lot of people died, and we still going through. This has been one horrible thing that has happened to the world. It has. It's opened some eyes about some other stuff. It's opened some eyes to me about education. It's opened some eyes about people who don't take things serious and who don't understand that life is serious. This ain't no joke. We're not here for a very long time. We're here for a purpose. It's not an accident that we was born. No, it ain't because mama forgot to take the pill or whatever. It's not an accident. It's a reason. It's a God-given purpose. And I'm going to tell you something. People have tried so to assassinate African Americans' character. If they can't assassinate them, they tried they tried very, very hard to assassinate Barack Obama's character and his wife's character. Tried to tear them down, and those Africans who went along with it, we need to come up out of that. Regardless of whether we agree with this man's views or not, this is one man. He can't please everybody. That's impossible. That's just like you going and telling That's just like, I don't understand people who go and tell they in the church, go tell their business to the pastor. That's one man. He can't tell you how to solve all your problems and then tell you how to solve his. I don't understand how these counselors do it. I really, truly don't understand how they do it, because they have to absorb all this information and then sit there and listen to your problems all day long, every day, and then deal with their own problems. I don't understand how they do it. I don't get it, because see, I can't do it. I tell you, look, this how you do this. And then if you go and do something different, I pretty much lost patience. I can't keep telling you to do the same thing over and over, and you go do something else and think something different gonna happen. That's the definition of insanity. We can't keep doing that. I'm gonna give you one answer, and that's it. And that's listen to the podcast at this point, because I done ran out of answers. I don't have no more answers. I can't listen to no more chaos, negativity, and drama. I can't absorb anymore. I really can't. I've had enough. I had my fill. I don't need to hear yours. Because see, look here. I don't even want to hear mine. That's why I don't even deal with certain family members, because I don't want to hear the chaos, negativity, and drama. I don't want to hear what she said, where they at, what they gonna do. I don't want to hear it, know about it, none of it. Because see, we talking about some grown folks. Unless they on something positive. Yeah, Kanisha went to school and she graduated. I want to hear that. Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's build up Kanisha and her character. Let's do that. But I don't want to tear Kanisha down. No, we not finna be a part of that. We gonna build one another up. We gonna help one another, and we not gonna assassinate one another's character. We are not going to be a part of that anymore. That's chaos, negativity, and drama. That's speaking life and death over people, and speaking life and death over yourself and your own situation, your own circumstances. People, that's changing our mindset. That's changing our mindset. When I speak of we have to forgive and change our mindset, that's it. Forgive, change your mind, and grow. We gonna rise over this oppression, and we gonna rise over it all over the world. We are. We gonna beat this oppression. I have a collage of pictures. I want to try to see if I can get on my website so you can see it. And it's me, from a baby on up, beating oppression. I've been beating oppression all my life, and I done finally beat it and defeat it. And I'm going to teach you how to win. I'm going to teach you how to get over. I'm going to teach you how to beat the battle of life and win over the circumstances. Despite of what you're going through, you can pull through. Through God, you can get through whatever you going through. I'm going to tell you something. It ain't no obstacle, honey. You see the man running and jumping over the barricade. This ain't nothing for you to do. Matter of fact, you gonna fly over them barricades, because you gonna ride on the arm of God. You gonna fly over all them barricades, all them stumbling blocks that's been put in your way. Everything anybody ever tried to do to you, God is gonna block that. I'm telling you something. You got an army. You didn't know. It's not just God. You got an army of appointed ancestors who've been there, but you didn't know, because Christianity, taught our ancestors and taught us that they sleep in peace and they resting, and the evil spirits are familiar spirits, and familiar spirits. Well, the pastor said, don't deal with the familiar spirits. And I said, well, Pastor, I don't deal with the familiar spirits. They deal with me. They messing with me. I'm moving in all these haunted houses. What's going on? I'm telling you, I've lived in some houses, and I went through some things, and my children can attest to these. All 5 of them can attest to what we have went through in these houses. And I never knew why these spirits were following me. And even my cousin asked her mama, why are the spirits following Jackie? And her mama said, I don't know. And but I found out once I got in this house that I'm in now. It is to overcome oppression, to help us overcome oppression. I was scared to death. I had one house that when I was a bus driver, I worked a split. I would go home and sit in the driveway until it was time to go back to work because I was that scared to go in that house. The kids was at school. So I would be in there alone. And I was that scared that I wouldn't even go in my own house. Come on now. See, but now I ain't scared of nothing. I walk in power. I don't walk in fear. I'm not scared. God don't give us a sense of fear. He give us a sense of power. And I got power, honey. Power in the soul. Ooh, yeah. I got power, baby. I'm telling you, I love the Lord. I love the Lord. I love my beloved ancestors. I'm so grateful and thankful. I'm telling you, I could dance on a cloud. That's how happy I am. And that's how I want you to be. I want you to rise from this oppression. We're not getting ready to be part of no pity party. We ain't going to be part of none of that. It's time out for that. We know what's going on. We know evil is doing. We see what's happening to our people. We see what's going on. We see ain't going to be no justice for Jacob Blake. But you know what, though? We going to still rise. We going to still come out with substance. Jacob Blake and his children going to come out with substance. We all going to come out with substance. I'm going to tell you something. Those who were lost in the struggle would not be forgotten, and those who caused them to be lost in the struggle will be dealt with. I'm telling you, I've been in touch with the spirit world, and I know that every tub got to sit on its own bottom. What happened to our people is not going to be forgotten, and it has not been forgotten, and it has been dealt with. Those spirits that I lived with in that house, this last one, those were racist, evil, demonic spirits, and those were condemned souls who had done things to our ancestors beforehand. So I know what I'm talking about, people. It's done. It is done. And now it's 400 years later. It's time for us to rise and come out with substance. And here we grow. Here we come. We rise. And I want you to look yourself in the eye. I want you to wink and smile and show that sparkle. I want you to stand up straight. I want you to say, I love you. I don't care what nobody got to say about you. I don't care what you did in the past, because that's over with and forgiven and forgotten. I don't care who want to keep bringing it up, because that's their problem and not yours. So you tell you, I love you in spite of. I'm one of God's own. I'm royalty. I'm finna turn around and walk in it. God bless you, people. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom all over the world. And I mean that. God bless you.